Operation Epstein's Fury is becoming a global conflict. Told you so. Fucking told you so. This is World War III. You're in the beginning of World War III. Or actually, if you really wanted to date it properly, I would say that Operation Midnight Hammer back in last June, that was the first attack of World War III. That's how I would argue it. I mean, listen, I don't know if you know what the fuck has been going on, but the news in the past 24 hours has been quite literally catastrophic. The entire world is realizing that the United States military is the paper tiger. We are not equipped for modern warfare. We're equipped for like Cold War era fighting. We're equipped for like warfare from the 1990s, you know, where it was dick measuring. Who's got the most nukes? Who's got the biggest bombs? Who's got the best jets? Who's got the best ships? Whereas modern warfare is who can pump out cheap one-way drones faster than the other, and who's got smarter and more clever engineers and hackers. It's all about cyber warfare and drone warfare now, and we are fucking losing, and we're losing so badly that our other adversaries, like China, glory to Xi Jinping, and North Korea, glory to Kim Jong-un, are starting to, you know, dip their toe in the water, okay? So we're gonna be talking about how the North Koreans fired like 10 missiles over the Sea of Japan, and they only did that because we removed our THAAD battery system from South Korea because the Iranians destroyed all of our THAAD batteries in the Middle East, right? Now, the THAAD batteries, they shoot down like big-ass missiles, right? The only thing preventing North Korean missiles from raining down on South Korea were our THAAD batteries. After the Iranians destroyed ours in the Middle East, and we only have like 16 on planet Earth, right? We went over to South Korea, took our THAAD batteries, and brought them over to the Middle East. And pretty much overnight, Kim Jong-un said, oh, okay, check this out, and launched 10 fucking missiles off the coast. South Koreans just watching, knowing that there's absolutely nothing they could do to shoot those down. So literally, I'm not kidding, right now, the only thing preventing Kim Jong-un from invading South Korea is the grace of his heart, is his, you know, his character. If he really fucking wanted, he could. Okay, on top of that, the Chinese have sent their largest aircraft presence in modern history to surround Taiwan. They've also got like multiple warships headed into the region. They're surrounding Taiwan. We lifted sanctions on Russian oil. So like the main players of World War III are, they have been set. You have, on one side, you have America and Israel, the axis of Epstein, and the UK and potentially Canada, right? On the other side, you have Russia, Iran, China, and North Korea. Then stuck in the middle, you have all of these European nations who don't know whether or not they should ally with China because the United States is no longer trustworthy, or whether they should stick to their guns and fight alongside the United States because that's their oldest ally. The thing is, Trump has proved to the entire planet that, like, why would you ever make a deal with the United States? You'll make a deal with the US and then Trump will rip that shit up the next day. So it's absolutely fucked. Other than that, we're going to talk about how there is I'm pretty sure there's an investigation going on into, there's a UN investigation into the American strike on that all-girls school that murdered like 165 to 185 little girls. But the UN has started an inquiry to investigate that as, I believe, a war crime. This would be, first of all, we did do that. So, but this is the largest, like, one-attack civilian casualties that we've done in a long fucking time. And then we're going to talk about how we're not just bombing the Iranian military. We are mainly murdering their civilians, but on top of that, we are destroying their cultural heritage, right? At least 56 Iranian heritage sites have been bombed. This is like Hitler shit. We're trying to erase them from history. We're trying to, you know, like, I'm pretty sure, was it the Nazis? I'm pretty sure the Nazis, when they like hit the fucking like the Sphinx in Egypt with an artillery cannon, you know, they targeted like the fucking pyramids and shit. They're trying, like, this is Nazi shit, trying to erase history so that you can, you know, control the narrative forever moving forward. We have a lot to talk about. Okay, so, oh, and the Israelis claim that they killed 2 top Iranian officials, which again doesn't matter because the Iranians had like a, what's the word? They had like a contingency plan. for an attack on their government, which is that it is no longer like top-down leadership. All these different Iranian leaders have different parts of the military, and they have carte blanche to essentially give them whatever orders they want. So that if you did, like, you know the old saying, like, cut the head off the snake? Well, now they have, like, Medusa, you know what I mean? Now they have, like, fucking a 50-headed snake, so you could cut off the head, but it doesn't matter. There's all these different ones. It's no longer a centralized force. All right. So anyway, let's dive right in. Before we do, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. This is real independent media. I have no advertisers. I have no sponsors. I've never had a conversation with a billionaire, a government, or a PAC. So what that means is I'm a dissident of the regime, and I get wildly punished for that. Just today or yesterday alone, I got 11 copyright claims, all at the same time. Now, this is because, as I said, I am a dissident of the Führer, which means people like me get targeted and disproportionately punished. So, I don't make a lot of money on this channel. If you do want to help me make some money, you could buy merch like the posters behind me, Joseph Stalin. You could buy merch like the posters behind me. We also have mugs, we have hoodies, we have all this shit. You can also click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member. You can become a patron on Patreon. Other than that, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. My brother just sent me a link to this. Way fucking ahead of you, brother. Way fucking ahead of you. I already got that shit queued up and ready to go. All right, so without further ado, let's dive in. This is from yesterday, March 16th. North Korea fires 10 missiles over the Sea of Japan in latest multiple rocket launcher system test. North Korea recently test-fired an estimated 10 ballistic missiles from its upgraded large-caliber multiple rocket launcher system, taking aim at an island target in the Sea of Japan in what was the country's third ballistic missile launch since the start of 2026. North Korea's Western District Long-Range Artillery Unit test-fired the missile Saturday from ultra-precision multiple rocket launchers, struck an island target located approximately 360 kilometers away from the Sea of Japan. 2 artillery companies and 12 rocket launchers were reportedly mobilized for the firepower strike training exercise, which was overseen by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. So, you know, like, you've seen all these videos for a long time of, like, Kim Jong-un firing missiles, sunglasses on, smoking a cigarette, watching that. And, like, you know, as Americans, we were very propagandized into thinking, like, no, that's weakness. That's a sign of weakness, right? And, like, they praise him as, like, a dictator. No, that was all real. That was all a sign of strength. Because as we're seeing with Iran, we do not have the balls to invade or bomb nuclear-armed countries, right? So the fact that North Korea got their nuclear weapons and they focused primarily on building up a military, that was necessary to prevent the Western imperialist dogmen of America and Israel from ass-fucking them into oblivion. So I am starting to have a lot more respect for Kim Jong-un. A lot more respect for the North Koreans. I finally understand why they are so focused on their military might. It's because without it, we would have conquered the entirety of North Korea. And also, this comes as I was saying, we got rid of our THAAD missile batteries. And I guarantee you North Korea knows that. They were like, okay, well, if there was ever a fucking opportunity to put our dick on the table, it's right now. And the Chinese are doing the exact same fucking thing. Large-scale activities, air activities near Taiwan restart. The Ministry of National Defense reported the return of large-scale Chinese Air Force activities after their unexplained absence for more than 2 weeks, which had prompted speculation regarding Beijing's motives. China usually sends fighter jets, drones, and other military aircraft around the nation on a daily basis. Interruptions to such routines are generally caused by bad weather. So what I think is happening was the interruption with that was because of the American and Israeli war in Iran. I think that the Chinese are taking a step back, watching and analyzing, and they're going, okay, so America is really bad at shooting missiles down. America is not good at combating drones. America doesn't really have their own drone production fleet. I know that, like, we create drones, but not to the degree that Iran or Ukraine is creating them. And that's what modern warfare is. It's drones and cyber attacks. The Chinese are just watching. That's it. And they're realizing that if they want, they can just waltz right into Taiwan. No resistance. There will be Taiwanese resistance, but not us. We're not going to do fucking anything. We do not have the ammo to help. We are stretched too thin. Just as a little reminder, we are actively committing war crimes in Ecuador, right? We have military operations going on in Ecuador. So we have war in Ecuador. We have war in Iran. We are starving the Cubans to death. We have a blockade around Cuba, right? We are doing counterterrorism operations in Mexico. We are arming Ukraine. We are arming Israel. We are stretched too thin. Dozens of our bases across the Middle East, they weren't hit. They were destroyed. This is shit that the American mainstream media doesn't want you to know. Dozens of our bases in like Arab nations, they're gone. Like completely gone. Totally destroyed. And then, yeah, obviously, as you guys know, at 9 a.m., there was a fucking meteor strike. A fucking meteor hit Cleveland, Ohio. Everyone thought it was a bomb. I still don't even know if I believe that it was a fucking meteor, if I'm being totally honest with you. So let's go back to this. So it last reported that many aircraft on February 25th when it spotted 30 aircraft, saying Beijing was carrying out another joint combat readiness patrol. So everything is picking up. The Chinese are getting ready to take Taiwan. The North Koreans are flexing their dick on the table, saying, hey, I could take South Korea if I really fucking wanted. And then not to mention the fact that we are literally enriching our adversary. We lifted sanctions on Russian oil, so the Russians are making more money, and the Russians are giving that money, intelligence, and weapons to the Iranians. And we are now learning that the Chinese are also giving intelligence to the Iranians. This is a fucking world war. You can disagree with me all you want. Makes you wrong and fucking stupid. That's what it does. Senator Adam Schiff on Sunday slammed the Trump regime's terrible decision to lift some sanctions on Russian oil amid the war in Iran. I think this is a terrible decision, but it is one of the things that comes about as a result of the unpredictability of war. Well, here's the thing. This shit was entirely predictable. It's just that the entire Trump regime is full of like mentally disabled cave-dwelling aphids. So you can't really expect them to know anything. You do know, guys, this is confirmed, that during the Situation Room briefing before we started the war in Iran, nobody in the Trump regime had even considered the possibility that the Iranians would shut down the Strait of Hormuz. Now, I hope you understand, I am a dumb fuck. And even I knew if you ever go to war with Iran, the first thing they're going to fucking do is shut down the Strait of Hormuz. But you have to understand, Pete Hegseth, the raging alcoholic, war criminal, he's a fucking moron. RFK Jr., fucking moron. Donald Trump, fucking moron. JD Vance, fucking moron. Marco Rubio, fucking moron. The blind are leading the blind right now. This is why I say, like, I do genuinely consider all Trump supporters as subhuman, inferior vermin. That's not hyperbole. I don't consider you to be human beings. You're too stupid to be a human. You would be better off enslaved. I'm not kidding. Call that fascist. I don't give a fuck. You set the rules. Now I'm playing the fucking game, bitch. All right. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced on Thursday that the U.S. would temporarily remove sanctions on Russian oil, stranded at sea, as the regime looks to tamp down rising gas and oil prices. The move has agitated some critics who argue it is counterintuitive to the regime's effort to bring about an end to Russia's war in Ukraine. Bessent said on social media that the narrowly tailored lifting of sanctions will not provide significant financial benefit to the Russian government. Oh my God, you're so fucking stupid. So you're also admitting that putting sanctions on Russia wasn't doing anything. If lifting the sanctions won't help them that much, then putting the sanctions on them weren't hurting them that much. So you're saying that we have no cards, that we have no move to make against the Russians, that the Russians are just, impenetrable. All right, we got more here. This is some breaking news. Joe Kent, a top U.S. counterterrorism official, resigns over the Iran war. This is the first top Trump regime official who has resigned, stating the actual Iran war is the reason why. Joe Kent, one of the United States' top counterterrorism officials, announced his resignation on Tuesday, citing his opposition to the Iran war and what he said was Israel's influence over the Trump regime policies. Quote, I cannot in good conscience support the ongoing war in Iran, Mr. Kent, the director of National Counterterrorism Center, wrote in a social media post. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. Mr. Kent is the highest-ranking Trump regime official to quit over the war in Iran. All right, here is his resignation letter. I got that queued up. President Trump, after much reflection, I have decided to resign from my position as director of the National Counterterrorism Center, effective today. I cannot, in good conscience, support the ongoing war in Iran. Iran posed no imminent threat to our nation, and it is clear that we started this war due to pressure from Israel and its powerful American lobby. I support the values and the foreign policies you campaigned on in 2016, 2020, 2024, which you enacted in your first term. Until June of 2025, you understood that the wars in the Middle East were a trap that robbed America of the precious lives of our patriots and depleted the wealth and prosperity of our nation. So here's where you're wrong, Joe Kent. He never understood that. Okay, all he did was lie. He lied and lied and lied, and you fucking fell for it. It's that fucking simple. And now he's realized he no longer has to wear the mask. He no longer has to pretend like he's not a warmongering, fascist, bumbling piece of shit because he has the power. He has the power. He doesn't need to fucking earn it anymore. All right, but this is a big sign, guys. All right, so now we have a post from Donald Trump here. The United States has been informed by most of our NATO allies in quotes, that they don't want to get involved with our military operation against the terrorist regime of Iran in the Middle East. This, despite the fact that almost every country strongly agreed with what we are doing and that Iran cannot in any shape or form be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. I am not surprised by their action, however, because I always considered NATO, where we spend hundreds of billions of dollars per year protecting these same countries, to be a one-way street. We will protect them, but they will do nothing for us, in particular in a time of need. That's funny because the United States of America is the only nation that has ever invoked Article 5. When we got attacked on 9/11, we invoked Article 5. We got every single other fucking NATO ally to join us in the war in the Middle East. What do you think, America was fighting alone? We had Canadians there. We had Germans there, bro. We had Brits there. I'm pretty sure there were even fucking Japanese people there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the only nation who has called upon our NATO allies for help. It's a fucking joke. Fortunately, we have decimated Iran's military. Their navy is gone, their air force is gone, their anti-aircraft and radar is gone, and perhaps more importantly, their leaders at virtually every level are gone, never to threaten us, our Middle Eastern allies, or the world again. Everything he just said is a lie. Everything he just said is a lie. Their Navy is not gone. Their Air Force is not gone. You want to know how I know this? We got Shahed drones today fucking hitting UAE oil refineries. Their anti-aircraft and radar is gone. No, it isn't. That's a complete fucking lie. More importantly, their leaders at virtually every level are gone. No, they aren't. If they were, we would have had boots on the ground. We would have invaded by now. You are lying. You are simply fucking lying, and only a fucking retard would fall for this shit. Because of the fact that we have such military success, we no longer need or desire the NATO countries' assistance. We never did. Then why were you on your hands and knees like a fucking dog begging for backup yesterday, you fat-bodied fascist? Likewise, Japan, Australia, or South Korea. In fact, speaking as President of the United States of America, by far the most powerful country anywhere in the world, we do not need the help of anyone. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Yeah, so we are being led by an actual fucking psychopath who has like bipolar episodes. He goes from like, I need help, because that's what he said. He said on video, he was like, I need help. I need help from the UK. I need help from France. And now he's going, we don't need help from anybody. He's so petty that he's actually going to kill us all and destroy the entire global economy. That's how fucking petty he is. All right, now we're going to talk about the fact that Benjamin Netanyahu is absolutely fucking dead. Okay, there's only two possibilities. Benjamin Netanyahu is fucking dead, or the Israelis are doing this on purpose, okay? Because they posted this picture. This picture was taken on February 4th, 2026. They posted this picture and claimed Prime Minister Netanyahu ordering the elimination of senior Iranian regime officials. This is like 100% a photo from February 4th, 2026. Even, listen, I know Grok doesn't really have that much validity, but oh my God, that's the funniest shit I've ever seen. But yeah, no, this photo is from February 4th, 2026. So there's only two possibilities. Either Benjamin Netanyahu is dead, inshallah he suffered, or the Israelis want us to believe he's dead. Which, the thing is, I can't figure out why. I genuinely cannot figure out why the Israelis would do that, what they would gain from that. So I'm at the point where I do genuinely believe Benjamin Netanyahu is fucking dead. All right, now we're gonna watch just a couple of clips of closeted homosexual Mike Johnson defending Trump's war in Iran. Let's get a look here.
I'm on the Gang of Eight. I got all the briefings. We all understood there was clearly an imminent threat that...
That's not true whatsoever. We already know for a fact, irrefutable fact, that Iran posed no imminent threat. We also know that Caroline Leavitt said that herself.
Iran was very close to the enrichment of nuclear capability, and they were building missiles at a pace that no one in the region could keep up with. They were far outpacing our allies and friends and us in our defense capability, because we had personnel, installations, members of the armed services, and civilians in the region. Iran was building up ballistic missiles at such a rapid pace, and we knew that their plan was to fire them upon Americans. The commander-in-chief...
No. Their plan was to fire them on Israel, which I fully advocate for.
And his administration had a very difficult decision to make. I don't know where Joe Kent is getting his information, but he wasn't in those briefings, clearly, because the Secretary of State, the Secretary of War...
Are you telling me that the head of counterterrorism doesn't know what he's talking about when it comes to an Iranian threat to American soil, and you fucking do? You're the Speaker of the House. You're just the Speaker of the House. You're like a fucking nobody. You're going to be thrown to the wind as soon as Trump is no longer the fucking president. If I had my way, we'd drag you by your giant fucking ears into a gulag and enslave you.
And everyone, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Kane, they had exquisite intelligence, and we understood that this was a serious moment for us. Had the president waited, I am personally convinced that we would have mass casualties of Americans, service members and others, and our installations would have been...
We literally have mass casualties of American service members right now, bro. The United States government is lying about the amount of casualties. They say only 13 are dead. That's a lie. Over 100 U.S. service members are dead. Over 750 U.S. service members are wounded. We have killed thousands of civilians in Iran, including primarily women and children. Israel is being pounded like they're getting fucked, okay? Tel Aviv, Haifa, Jerusalem, all of those missiles are piercing through. The Iron Dome does not work.
Dramatically damaged. And so the president felt that he had to strike first to prevent those mass casualties. That's the summary. I can't tell you the classified part.
Chatter just said you can only watch some videos if you pay. Sellout. Why are you telling everyone you're a broke boy? Why are you telling everybody you're a dirt poor, broke-ass bitch? Why are you telling everybody that, bro? Keep that shit to yourself, broke boy. Couldn't be me.
That's the summary that's made public, and it's accurate, yes.
All right, we got more here. Hopefully it's not that fucking loud. I don't even know what question is being asked. Yeah, dude, also, why the fuck do the people asking questions not even have microphones? That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
Well, I think his bones are informed by the intelligence.
Oh, the question was about, let's see, I think they have the question here. What does President Trump mean when he says the war in Iran will be over when he feels it in my bones? So as you guys know, Trump was asked directly, when will the war in Iran end? And he said, when I feel it in my bones. President Trump recently has said that the war in Iran will be over when he feel it in my bones. What does he mean by that?
Well, I think his bones are informed by the intelligence, okay? So, look, it's the commander-in-chief, whomever is the president, whomever is the commander-in-chief, under our constitutional system, is given a broad amount of latitude and authority. Their decisions are informed by all the intelligence and the experts, a large panel of them from the Joint Chiefs of Staff on down, who come in and advise the president. So
you're telling me that the entire system is full of corrupt dipshits. You're saying that the reason why we did this is because of the intelligence that Trump was getting. Well, this means that the intelligence Trump was getting was coming from absolute fucking morons, because we didn't even contemplate the fact that the Iranians would shut down the Strait of Hormuz. We didn't even contemplate the fact that the Iranians have literally hundreds of thousands of drones stored in bunkers scattered across their entire fucking mountain fortress of a nation. Okay? We didn't even consider the fact that the Russians and the Chinese would be giving them intelligence. We didn't even consider the fact that they would destroy all of our THAAD missile batteries and we'd have to take them out of South Korea. You're telling me that not only is Trump a fucking idiot, but all of our top military advisors are fucking idiots.
President makes a gut decision, and hopefully they make a prayerful decision. I think this president will as well. He's getting great advice from...
He's getting terrible fucking advice. Also, I think this is the nightmare blunt rotation. There's many nightmare blunt rotations. This might be top tier nightmare blunt rotation. Are you fucking kidding me?
Great people, and I'm very encouraged about where we are. I think this will wind down quickly, and it's going to be in the best interest of America going forward and of the whole world. Thank you.
Dude, Republicans watch this and go, okay, yeah, it is the best interest of America, okay. And then they go to the gas station and it's fucking $3 more than it was the day before. They go, it's okay, it's temporary pain for long-term gain. Like, You people shouldn't even be allowed to vote. You people should not be allowed to vote. I swear to God, we should publicize the voting records. And anybody and everybody who voted for Donald Trump should no longer be allowed to vote. Like, bro, we should do the fucking Jewish star shit on Trump voters. Like a red hat armband, so we know, oh shit, no, I'm not talking to you. Like, oh my, we should brand them, bro. Unfucking believable. All right. Iran leader Ali Larijani killed in an airstrike, Israel says. If confirmed, the death would make Larijani the most senior Iranian official to be killed since Ali Khamenei on the first day of the war. Israel says it has killed a linchpin of Iranian politics, the national security chief Ali Larijani. What the fuck is that? Big ass osprey just flew by. Iran has yet to comment on the claim. If confirmed, Larijani's death would remove a pivotal figure at the heart of the regime's political and security establishment at a moment of acute crisis and representing devastating blow. Who believes this shit? Not that he's dead. Sure, I'll believe that he's dead. Israel will kill whoever the fuck they want. They'll blow up an entire city block just to get one target. But does anybody believe that this is actually going to help cripple the Iranian government? Like, dude, the Iranian military has now scattered, where they have multiple different leaders running their own different units. They know that you think if you target the head of the snake that they'll all collapse. They had a contingency plan for this, bro. Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz. It's the most Jewish name on planet Earth, bro. Oh, I'm from New York, bro. We all know about Katz Deli. It's like the best Jewish deli in New York. And you're telling me the guy's name is Israel Katz? Can't make this shit up. Okay, Israel Katz said a separate strike killed the Basij paramilitary force commander Gholamreza Soleimani, along with other senior Basij figures. Larijani and the Basij commander were eliminated overnight and joined the head of the annihilation program, Khamenei, and all the eliminated members of the Axis of Evil. Bro, you're the Axis of Evil. We are the Axis of Epstein. Are you fucking out of your mind? So yeah, Israel says it killed 2 top Iranian officials. Let's get a look at this video here. This is in Beirut. I thought we destroyed the Iranian military. Huh? Wait a minute. I thought we destroyed the Iranian military. Wait a minute. I could have thought the President of the United States that we destroyed the Iranian military. Fucking morons. Drone sparks fire at UAE oil site as Gulf takes more hits amid the Iran war. A drone attack has sparked a fire at the Fujairah oil industry zone in the United Arab Emirates as Iran continues to launch sustained attacks on Gulf countries amid the Axis of Epstein's joint war on its soil more than 2 weeks ago. The Fujairah government's media office on Tuesday said that there were no casualties from the attack on the energy facility located about 23 miles east of Dubai. Later in the day, a projectile struck a tanker anchored 23 nautical miles east of Fujairah in the UAE, the United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations said. No injuries were reported on the incident, which caused minor structural damage. According to the UKMTO, the vessel's company security officer said investigations indicate the damage was likely caused by falling debris from interceptions in the area. That is cope. That is cope. They're never going to admit that they're actually being hit by the drones. This comes after another fire broke out at the Fujairah oil hub on Saturday when debris fell during the interception of a drone. These are lies, guys. These are lies. These are lies. They're trying to make it seem like they have a better control over the situation than they do. They're like, oh no, just a fire broke out because they fired a drone and we shot the drone down and then some debris landed and now there's a fire. No, it didn't. You're lying. The drone hit its target. You're fucking lying. Dude, any nation that is allied with the United States of America is lying. They're all fucking lying. It is pure copium. UN body investigating the fatal strike in the Iranian girls' school. A UN inquiry has started investigating a fatal strike on a primary school the first day of the axis of Epstein's attack on Iran, one of its members told reporters on Tuesday. The attack on the Shahjareh Tayyebe school consisted of 2 missile strikes in quick succession that killed 168 children, mostly girls, Iranian officials said in Geneva on Monday. Reuters reported on March 5th that the United States military investigators believe it is likely that U.S. forces were responsible, but have not reached a final conclusion or completed their investigation. The Pentagon has since elevated the probe. We're at an early stage of the investigation. Oh, okay, so we will investigate ourselves, and we will find that we did no wrongdoing. Ain't that something? Don't forget, Trump immediately said that the Iranians actually have Tomahawk missiles, and they bombed their own school. The most brazen and blatant lie I've ever fucking heard from his mouth, which is why I say, like, listen, if you are capable of believing anything Donald Trump says, you're an inferior vermin. Like, I can't help you. You're too fucking stupid to breathe. All right. Are the U.S. and Israel waging war on Iran's cultural heritage? Iran says at least 56 of its heritage sites have been damaged or destroyed in the war. So what has been destroyed? Let's see. The ministry said that museums and historic complexes in the cities of Sanadaj, Khorramabad, and Saraf were also affected. Golistan Palace dates to the Qajar era. This 1789 to 1925 era is marked by the rule of the Turkic dynasty that united Iran after decades of civil unrest. Golistan is a walled palace built combining Persian craft and architecture with European motifs and styles. It features gardens, pools, and ornaments. In Persian, Golistan means flower garden. What else? Tehran's Grand Bazaar, Taksh-e-Jahan Square, houses key landmarks such as mosques and palaces. It was built between 1598 and 1629. The the Aflaq Castle in Khorramabad in Loristan province was also damaged, according to the head of Loristan's Heritage Department. So we're just bombing their mosques, their churches, because there are some Christians in the region. Their mosques, their churches, their bazaars, their historical sites, their castles, their temples. We are trying to erase the beautiful Iranian history from the face of the earth. We're trying to convince the rest of the planet that, you know, Persia never existed. You know, that is what this is. This is the way that fascists control the narrative. They destroy cultural heritage sites. They whitewash the history. They pretend that this is an evil terrorist regime. Even Trump said that they are genetically disposed to mass murder. Trump himself, a eugenicist, said that the Iranian genetics lead them to being mass murderers. This is what America does. This is what we do, okay? And then the last thing I want to show you is this. The actual Secretary of War, alcoholic Fox News host, and most likely a wife beater, Pete Hegseth, he posted this, and I want you to understand that, like, American propaganda used to be good. You know what I mean? There's an old American propaganda video to join the Marines, and it's of a Marine in dress blues with a sword on a chessboard fighting against a fucking dragon, right? Or like a Black Hawk dropping a rope and a whole bunch of soldiers going down and they got night vision goggles. Like, we used to be good at propaganda, and this is the level that we have stooped to. This is what the president, this is what the Secretary of War just posted. You're about to witness. This guy has the IQ of a fucking spoon, okay? Which makes him a perfect candidate for the United States military. I am not surprised by somebody as fucking retarded as this guy being in the U.S. military.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people be talking shit about America. Hey, if you don't like America, go to another country, bitch. I love this country. I'll protect this bitch.
Top 10 best goy slave. Top 10 best goy slave award goes to this fucking cretin. Let's watch this again.
Hey, I don't know who need to hear this. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of people be talking shit about America. Hey, if you don't like America, go to another country, bitch. I love this country. I'll protect this bitch.
I hope you understand that you are literally not a person in the eyes of your commanding officer. You are a replaceable weapon. And on top of that, you're black, dude. They don't give a shit about our soldiers. But when it comes to minority soldiers, they genuinely couldn't give less of a fuck about you, dude. They are gonna send you to go do a blood sacrifice in the name of fucking Israel. And you're gonna cheer like a seal as you run out of ammo, you dumb fuck. And I can't stress this enough. This is who they want in the military. Impoverished morons. They want you so fucking desperate that the best way out is by joining the United States military. They want you to be that fucking stupid. Don't bring race into this man's stupidity. No, I will. I will be bringing race into this man's stupidity. It's the same fucking thing as like Latinos who support ICE, dude. If you are a minority and you join the United States military, you are unironically more pathetic than the white people that do it. At least the white people know that they will be given preferential treatment. They'll send your ass to the fucking front lines like we did with the Harlem Hellfighters immediately. Oh, somebody called him a slur. Oh, you can ban that chatter. You can ban that chatter. We're not racist. We are pointing out the hypocrisy. You fucking morons. Okay, anyway. That's all I got for you for today's video. This is turning into World War III. The United States of America is a paper tiger. The rest of the world understands. North Korea is slapping their dick on the table in terms of South Korea. China slapping their dick on the table in terms of Taiwan. Russia slapping their dick on the table in terms of Ukraine. We have absolutely no way out of this other than Donald Trump just admitting defeat. So I genuinely do believe that Israel will nuke Iran because it's the only way for them to claim victory. The only way for the Axis of Epstein to claim victory is to nuke Iran. And I wouldn't put it past the fucking dogmen of Israel to do that. Anyway, I'm Chris Valenti. This has been the Valenti VOD. If you are watching this live, don't forget, you stay. We got to make a thumbnail. If you're watching this pre-recorded, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. And do me one last favor. Click that video right over there. It's a banger. And I know bangers.